What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I thought these shipped Wednesday. I thought they'd be here Friday. We'd be able to tackle the banana ram, get it all fixed up and done, but we waited, and we waited some more, and they finally showed up yesterday, actually. Here's the one stamped left, here's the one stamped right. Well, here's the ones we got. Here's the one stamped right, and here's the one stamped left. Well, I guess I'll put the tabs the same way. But yeah, as you can see, look at the ones we just got and look at the ones we had. So obviously left and left, this is not the right side, and this is also not the right side either. So just say the passenger side, this is how it, because this hole's like factory, this is how it needed to go in. Look at the difference. This tab is in the front, this tab is in the back. Also, the hole we drilled is not the hole we need. It needs to be this hole up here. I was severely confused at why it was so tight to get the wrench in there and all that. And here's our answer. They were welded incorrectly. So now we have the correct bag mount. As you can see here, tab forward. This will slide right in there. And obviously when we jack this axle up, this hole will center with the bag hole in there. We can actually finish the front now. Don't know if this is gonna be 1 or 2 videos to finish this lift. Now that we have all of our required parts, I hope. Hopefully there's nothing missing in the rear or different in the rear. But I don't know if this is gonna be just this video or another video, so we can get it all done in 1 video or 2, I don't know. We got the parts. I waste no more time, just want to explain the situation with those bag mounts. You know, kind of what I realized, how stuff wasn't exactly lining up and wasn't exactly the correct angles and everything else. Something just seemed off. And, you know, I could tell just, you know, kind of how putting it together, and, you know, we got it all straightened out. Let's get to this. Let's see how far we get, and I guess you'll see in this video whether I put them in 2 into 1 or just 1 and then another for the back. But yeah, guys, let's get to it. So yesterday we spent pretty much all day messing with this lower bag mount. Now it seems quite strange and whatever, but what happened was this factory hole back here that you not really drill, but you're supposed to tap the 1/2 inch 20. You know, we put the wrong bag mount in and out so many times that the threads just kind of came out. So we ended up welding it shut, broke a bunch of drill bits, and drilled it back out to the right size, tapped it. It's now tight. And the front one's tight as well. And now we can finally move on to the other side, which should be super simple because we got the right mounts. All we gotta do is tap it once, drill 1 hole on the bottom, and we're good. Drill 3 up. We'll get the bags connected, the shocks in, and then the sway bar drops and all that, and then our adjustable track bar as well. But we'll get all that in there, and then we can finally move on to the rear. guys, as you can see, the lights are turned down. We're kind of getting closed up for tonight. This side's almost fully in. We got to retighten the bag mounts on the top here. Let me go over something with you. The more and more I've done, well over 300 plus lift kits, probably close to 350 in my life. And every time I do one, the more and more I do them, regardless of the brand, I realize that the instructions are very, you know, backwards. Like, just, I don't know. On the bigger lifts, this wouldn't be an issue because that bottom plate is a lot taller. Well, getting that bolt in to bolt this bag mount into the, or onto the mount here is literally a pain. You got like an 1/8 of a turn per wrench. I had to, it's a 19 millimeter bolt. I'm using a 19, a 21, a 20, and a 22 because, you know, each little 1/8 turn doesn't give me enough grip on the, you know, the 19 mil. So you got to go up to a different one, and whatever one works, you can get a turn on it. So that took forever. Honestly, if I did this again, I would straight up bolt the bag to that lower mount and then bolt the mount to the bottom and then kind of jack it up and get those you know, those upper bolts in after the fact. So like I said, more and more I do lifts and all of that, I figure out ways to do them more efficiently during them. So like this is how I probably would have done the other side. I would have bolted that we actually took this out, which is where we came to today. Sorry, it's unplugged, but where we came to today is, again, we dealt with the that lower bolt that you tap in the frame. While you tighten it and loosen it too much, the threads just pull out and you can't tighten it again. So what we did here is we welded this shut. Ben's brother Steve is actually going to bring up some more like sharp drill bits, and we'll drill right through that weld and tap a new hole, and we'll be able to get this bag mount in the morning. So yeah, it's just the little things and all that, but the bag's connected and all that. All we got to do is literally drill and tap that new hole that we welded shut, and then we'll get the front end finally completed. This has been a long, crazy process, and let me tell you something, the stars had to have aligned or something back in the day when I did the lift on this truck here. Honestly, I got this thing, I mean, granted, it was like 2 full days I did everything. For the first time, not so bad. If I honestly did it, you know, 1 full day now, I could probably do this whole lift. Also, you saw there, the bolt that stripped out, we ended up chasing the threads on that, so we got, you know, fresh threads on that. You know, had to remake those threads, so tomorrow we'll be able to thread that bolt in perfectly, tighten it down, do all that. But man, guys, this thing's been kicking my butt, and it's just like the little things. Like, but if I did this lift again, there's so many things I would have already done different that would have sped up this process. But you know, that's just my mind. I think that way. I'm able to notice things. Like I said, as soon as I put that bag mount on there, I said, this is not right, and it's just this. It's my mind. It works crazy. I'm thankful for the mind I have. Honestly, I think different than a lot of people, which is awesome. But man, that's been crazy, and it's been crazy waiting for parts, getting parts, finally getting the parts, and then stuff like that happening on both sides where we got to weld it shut, drill it out, and obviously welds are stronger than the bucket itself, so we're running through drill bits left and right. So Steve's gonna be bringing some sharper bits in the morning, and we'll be able to finally complete the front, and then we'll see how far we get on the rear. I think there's no drilling nor tapping on there. It's all drilling and bolts. And the only thing that's really going to be a challenge is that control arms. You'll also probably see some powder coating in the morning as well. Got to do the front diff cover. It just showed up at home, so I'm going to pick that up. And then we also might do the Banks rear diff cover while we're at it, because that would look sweet to just bolt everything up at once. So I think that's the plan for tomorrow. I got to get my air regulator, or moreover the fittings. I've got one here, but I just need the fittings that work with the powder coating gun. So oh, also, yeah, like we're putting the front shocks on here. We're putting these shocks on, and whoever put it must have been a Friday at the factory or whatever, and they put the wrong bushings in the bottom, so we just popped the bushings out of the rear shocks and put them in the front shocks, which I think was the issue. Somebody just put the wrong bushings in the wrong hole. So had to flip those bushings really quick, and then, oh, like metal in my hand. But yeah, we just had to flip those bushings really quick, and now we're good to go. So anyways, guys, I know it's been a process, but I'm just trying to fill you in because I know a lot of you want me to tell you guys what's going on, but also like just work. So I'm trying to mix and match, kind of run you through the process of doing something this extensive. You know, whether it be like a full truck rebuild like my Silverado, or something even just crazy like an air ride suspension on a truck that clearly is not designed to have one. So I want to give you guys the whole details, little things that go wrong during it, what we do to correct it, and what we do to correct it the right way, and not like redneck engineer it. No, we're, like I said, we welded that whole shut. We're gonna drill it. We're gonna do it right. We might actually have this thing on air tomorrow. Let's cross our fingers. We'll check back you in a couple hours. Well, you can see we got the bed off of the banana ram. I realized a couple things here. We're about done for today as well. Let's clear up the front here. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do here, if I could put this truck down with no air in the bags or not. Zero idea. I'm gonna do some research, see if we can, you know, set her down, because I need them jack stands and the jacks. So if we can set her down, that would be spectacular. But everything in the front's pretty much done. Steering stabilizers aren't done yet. I just got my new front diff cover. We're gonna probably powder coat that tomorrow if I can. Maybe the Banks rear, I don't know. Front's all done, pretty much buttoned up in here. I'm gonna get the Synergy link coming. Like I said, we got the front diff there, so that'll be red. We'll have brackets here, that's red, bracket on that end, that's red, and then in the middle you have the big red, or lollipop red bracket. This kit is severely less parts than the green Ram, so there's not much that's kind of powder coated red in here. Obviously this stuff will be kind of hidden, so you'll see that, and then the liner will come down here. But I don't know, I may get that sway bar powder coated, I don't know. Kind of working that out, figure out what else I want to powder coat on here. But we'll have a little bit more red in the front as well. The radius arm, to be honest, I was going to do it yellow, but I do like the black Kelderman inlay in there, so I may just actually leave that. Where we're at now is here is our air system. This is absolutely nuts, and I'll tell you why we took the bed off. this is absolutely nuts. Everything's in there, and I got to figure out some other things, but we got to weld these brackets to the frame. Yeah, so we're going to weld these to the frame. This will bolt to there, hold that in. We got to do our level sensors up front. They'll mount on the inside of the frame and into the back of the radius arm, so it'll give us our level correct. We took the bed off because, well, we got to cut this out. We're going to cut out our spare tire mount. So yes, this is going. Goodbye. Also, drop our heat shield. That'll be out of here. What else out of here? Nothing really, but yeah, the air management system, kind of those brackets weld here, and then everything mounts to it, and then you run the air lines after that. So yeah, we're gonna have to cut these factory welds off the frame here, and then the whole air management system will be right here. While this is off, I figured a couple things. One, I'm gonna power wash this, get all that crap out of there, because that's a mess. I forgot to unplug this, and I spent probably about an hour trying to get the pins back in here, but we finally did, so that's good. But one more thing here. It would not make any sense for me to sit there and put the bed back on and not put a fast fuel system on this truck. Literally would not, because the pain with the green truck was dropping that fuel tank after the fact. So I figured while the bed's off, I'll probably get a fast fuel system ordered. Not the money I wanted to spend right now, but it'll save me in the long run. It'll save me a huge headache down the road. And regardless if I buy it then or now, I still gotta do the same work, so I might as well make it easier on myself. So we'll get a fast fuel system in here. I got the tool. We'll pop the ring out. We'll get the fuel pump out of there. We'll modify this, everything. It'll then mount right here, just like the green truck. And then we'll get some cat filters here as well. This was for the power tonneau cover that we're gonna, we'll just reconnect because they ran one wire all the way back to the front and the battery. So yeah, we'll get the fast kind of mounted right here. I think it does go with the bed bolt, so we may have to wait to mount it maybe when the bed gets back on, I don't know. But at least we can get the fuel pump in and the lines ran, so after the fact we could just kind of stick it up in there. So I'm gonna get the fast coming and all that stuff before this lift is done, and I'll throw it in there. That's the only thing that makes sense, really. But you really don't, that's so weird. This truck looks so small without a bed, and it's actually quite funny. Oh man, this is a bigger project than I expected. A very much bigger project than I expected. I thought I was gonna be able to do this without the bed, but I just didn't want to fight it. 8 bolts, couple, harnesses that unplugged, and literally I just didn't want to fight it. So it'll be easier to cut this off up here. If you don't know things, it makes it super difficult with the instructions, how they're written. And like I said, even things like this. Should I have done the air management system first? And can I set this down with no, air in the bags? Are all 4 bags gonna inflate at the same time? Instructions don't come with instructions for this. There's a YouTube video that roughly tells you measurement. Last time with this truck, instructions were just a bit off. Obviously, clearly it's done. We got it done, but it just makes it super hard on you, like very hard. you can see, we had to go be above and beyond on this project. I had zero idea we're gonna get this deep into it. This is what it looks like underneath the bed of my green truck. I've got the little purple tabs up here. The bolts come through just like that. And then as you can see down in there, upper airbag mounts are in. We got our shock mounts in. We got our lower bag mounts in. Our sway bar end links are in. The other one in there incorporates the track bar into it. We are pretty much set up for just bolting it down and putting the bags in, and then air management system, and we're pretty much good to go. The rear, cake, freaking cake. What's gonna be difficult, which the other reason why we can't really do much more today, are trailing arms. So Kellerman doesn't really have measurements for where they're supposed to be at. They have rough measurements. In the instructions, it's just a picture, and it doesn't give me exact measurements of what the new trailing arms are supposed to be or set at. I got some rough measurements. He's gonna, you know, circle back with me next business day and get me the measurements for that, and then we can throw those in, and then the rear is pretty much done. So when we get back to working on this, we're gonna bolt everything down. We'll get the bags in there and get the air fittings in, and we'll be straight. We'll honestly be so straight back there, it'll be awesome. Everything, you know, literally this whole rear end is pretty much together already. All we got to do is literally bolt the sway bar in and the bags. Like, everything's pretty much good, so that's awesome. This one's super smooth, quick. While we're back here, honestly, it'll only complete the rear end if we do our bank stiff cover. So we'll probably get to that too. We'll powder coat that. That'll look sweet because then we'll have red in the middle. Sway bar will be red too, and, you know, tie into that. And obviously, look at that, all bag mounts and stuff are in. It's gonna look sweet. I just got my front diff cover, so we're gonna powder coat that as well and slap all that with the steering stabilizers on at the same time. And to be honest, I will probably just do that when we can inflate this thing all the way up 7 inches, so I can sit underneath it comfortably and just do all of that. The fluids, all the gear, oil and stuff, just do that with this thing inflated so I can sit underneath it and we're not this low to the ground. But it's been a crazy process. It's been nuts. It's taken me a lot longer than I expected. Well, anyways, guys, thank you for the support on this build, this series. This has been nuts. This has been crazy. Yeah, hopefully we'll get all this stuff buttoned up in the next video. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for the long wait on this video. Like I said, I've filmed this like every day this week. It's been a bunch of challenges here and there, drill bits, welding, whatever. It's been crazy, yeah. So if you enjoyed this video, shoot a thumbs up. If you haven't been here before, please get in there. If you enjoyed this video, shoot a thumbs up. If you enjoyed this video, shoot a thumbs up. If you haven't been here before, please get down there, click subscribe. While you're down there, tap the notification bell, click all, so you don't miss out on any of our uploads. Drop me a comment down below. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one.